Welcome back. Let's take you to Kenya now, where the country has been praying for peace today. The country anxiously awaiting the final outcome of what has turned into a very tight presidential race. The numbers we had this morning will get you an update now. Deputy President William Ruto receiving 51.25% of the vote. His main rival, that being Raila Odinga, sitting at 48.09%. Well, Tuesday's vote did pass off largely peacefully after previous elections had sparked deadly violence and claims of vote rigging. Well, let's bring into the conversation Kenyan journalist Akello Odenyo joining us this evening on eNCA. Akello, good evening to you from Nairobi. So those are the numbers I had from this morning. Of course, what's the latest numbers that you're hearing? Has there been much change?
No. Good evening to you. No, there hasn't been any much change. It's still 51 and 48%. So far, they have counted about 181 constituencies out of 291 constituencies. So we still have 100 more constituencies to go.
And peace-wise, that's always been quite a concern, sadly, in Kenyan elections. Reports we're seeing, apart from one or two minor scuffles, going off quite peacefully. What's been the reaction from those who are contesting the elections? What have they said about the peace they've observed?
Most of the candidates are just still calling on people to maintain peace, but it has been largely peaceful. It's just the anxiety. People are really waiting for the results. They've been waiting for quite some time, and we hope that the results will be announced tomorrow. There's a 7 days window before the presidential election results are announced by the IEBC. That's the Electoral Boundaries Commission, the commission that is in charge of the elections. So it has a 7 days window, and that lapses on Tuesday. So we are hoping between tomorrow and Tuesday, the results can finally be announced.
I see reports coming in from the BBC covering this in depth in Kenya as well. The verification of results, Okello, have been stopped several times, apparently by supporters of the main candidates. Why have the verification of results been stopped? I imagine it's causing major delays.
Well, yeah. The chief agents of political parties have been having, they've been contesting some of the results. And so that's what majorly causes the pausing or the delays. There's, for instance, a constituency in Kiambu that is in central part of Kenya where there was a 10,000 error. The number of votes that were counted were given more to the deputy president, 10,000 votes, and so it was interrupted. That had been flagged by a journalist, and IEBC during the verification had to stop the process, and when they changed, they realized that there are some errors. So, but now, as it is, the IEBC, which is, like I'd mentioned, is the commission that is managing elections, has asked all the agents not to be in the tallying center where the presidential votes are being counted. So that is meant to just, hasten the process. The chairperson, Wafula Chebukati of the commission, says that the candidates can take it up with the courts if they're not satisfied, but they've asked to be allowed a smooth counting of the election so that there's no pausing, no interruption. And that's just majorly because of the anxiety that's been going on. There's been so much delays because of the pausing all the time. The verification has taken longer than usual.
Let me ask you this. How concerned are you as a journalist covering this story that there could be violence that might break out? Are you hearing any rumblings or concerns, regardless of which way the election results might go, between Raila Odinga and also William Ruto? Are there concerns about violence after the announcement of the results?
No. Majorly, a lot of people just actually want peace, and I think after a long time waiting, they're just calling on the commission to, announce the winner eventually, because they're willing to take. It has been a really tight race, and so the pendulum could flip on whichever side, and a lot of people have come into terms with that. And so There could be a possibility, because we've already seen some candidates contesting the results that have been announced at the lower levels, like governors and members of parliament have been contesting, and it has been quite aggressive. It hasn't been done gently. So it's usually a recipe. And then there has been lots of talk. Both sides are claiming victory as it is now. The side of the Deputy President, William Ruto, has been claiming that they're the ones who are on top and that the presidential candidate has won the election. And so is the side of the Azimio, where the opposition leader, Raila Odinga, has also been claiming to be the one who is on top. Not really himself, but his allies. So it has really caused tension, and a lot of people, analysts, are complaining that this kind of early announcement that you are the winner when it has not been officially declared by the IEBC would cause tension and make people believe that they're actually winners and just wait for be declared. And if they are not declared, then it could bring violence. But as it is now, a lot of people just indicate that they want peace, and whatever the outcome would be, there won't be any violence. And that's what we all hope for.
Of course, it's what we all hope for. Akello, and I appreciate your time in speaking to us all the way from Nairobi in Kenya this evening. Kenyan journalist Akello Odenyo, following what's happening with the Kenyan elections at the moment. Very tight, of course. And as we heard, it seems like they are part of either camps, busy claiming, unverified claims, that they have won the election. But we wait for the Electoral Commission to make that decision.